Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. And tonight we are I'm calling it an impromptu live. Right now, I'm live on my business Facebook page, Stamping with Hart, Hart. And I will immediately post the replay to YouTube. So this is a little bit impromptu, but we're going to make some alternate cards with the January 2024 paper pumpkin kit. It's called Lovely Lavender. I have more cards done than I do right now, but we're going to work with these two tonight, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it in just a moment. But let me go ahead and give you some of the information of what we've got going on first. The first thing that I want to say is I will make a free project sheet available when I post the replay and the blog everywhere. That'll most likely happen tomorrow. But I will be sure to send all of the information out, and I'll have the information available along with the replay. Okay. I don't have it now. I always do the free project sheet after the live is over. We're going to be doing something called the triple time technique tonight. And that is going to feature the paper pumpkin stamp set and then a few of the pieces from the paper pumpkin kit as well. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you want to know where to find my blog, it is stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. So I spell my last name Hart, and I just like to spell it out because for those of you who are watching closed captioning or watching or seeing the scroll in the replay, it always spells my name incorrectly. So just want to shout that out because I saw this. It was a statistic that said like 70% of videos are being watched without the sound on. So there you go. All right. And then if you want to reach out to me, you can email me at stampingwithhart@gmail.com. Now, if you want to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin with me, I'm going to put the subscription link in the comments. I'm just going to post it in there right now. I always forget to do this. Hi, Jeanette. How are you? She is watching from San Bernardino, California. Awesome, Jeanette. I'm happy to have you here. I didn't even announce this anywhere. I didn't get a chance to, just because I had to schedule meetings for the next 2 days in a row. I was anticipating that my new live day will be on Wednesday afternoons or mid-morning, but I have not been able to make that happen. And hopefully I'll be able to talk a little bit more about what all the meetings and everything are about later. I can't really get into it right now, but it's important. So we're going to just do the live tonight instead. We're just going to roll with it. So hopefully you guys are seeing me and hearing me okay. I'm seeing that my Wi-Fi signal is sort of going up and down, but we're going to hope for the best. Now, one of the things that I do want to go over with you before we do our alternates for tonight, and let me just show them to you. So for those of you who want to do more of that traditional Valentine, I am going to be doing alternates actually outside of the coordinating colors. But if you're looking for coordinating colors, I do use the coordinating colors from the kit for this one, but I will also be using an additional stamp set. So I'll go over that with all of you in just a moment, but you would be able to recreate this card exactly with your paper pumpkin coordinating colors as well. We're going to talk about that. So anyway, if you do need to ask me anything, any questions, I just reach out to me by email. Okay. And then let me go over something that's happening. It was just announced today. So funny, on Sunday, I sent an email out and I posted everywhere that last year's paper pumpkin kit, the January 2023 kit, last year's kit, it was called Key to My Heart. The full pass kit, the refill, and the add-on heart boxes are all still available in our online store. So I sent out some, information about that, just letting people know, listen, if you're making love themes, if you're working on anything for Valentine's Day, go check them out. They're still there. I loved that kit from last year. I thought that was so cute. And then today they put those items on sale. So I'm going to show you where to find this information and to go check out the sale. So let me know in the comments, do you make cards for Valentine's Day, or do you just go with different themes whenever you get like love theme kits? Because you can make more than just Valentine's with the January 2024 kit and also with last year's kit. But I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you where to find past kits, refills, and add-ons. And I'm just going to talk for a minute about what the difference is with each one, but I want you to see this sale. So it's on select Paper Pumpkin products, and all of those last year items from the Valentine kit, or the Key to My Heart kit is what I should call it. They're all on sale today, right now. And it's while supplies last. So when they're gone, at least as far as I know. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully this will follow through so that we can do this together. Okay, so hopefully you are seeing it's the main screen. Okay, so whenever you go to stampinup.com, you're going to see the main screen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to menu, and then we're going to go to shop products. I'm just going to click this little arrow. And then it's going to give me a bunch of options, but what I'm looking for is Kits Paper Pumpkin. And we're going to click on that arrow there. And you should see right here at the bottom, refills, past kits, and more. So let me just make sure that this is following me. Okay, it is. So if you're looking for prepaid subscriptions during celebration, 3, 6, and 12 months prepaid subscriptions count towards celebration rewards. But for refills, past kits, that's what we're going to focus on right now. But this is where you can find all of that. So I'm just going to click here. Let me see if it clicked over. It did. Great. All right. So if you're looking for the add-on dies that coordinate with the kits, I'm going to be using those tonight. They're right at the top. The lovely lavender kit that we're talking about, the refill just became available for that. So you can grab the refill there if you're loving this month's kit. And then let me scroll down here. And this is where the fun is. Okay. So can you see right here? Hopefully, look at these markdowns. So the Key to My Heart Paper Pumpkin refill, originally $11, 9 cards and all of the components, at least the consumable pieces, meaning a refill contains the consumable pieces, but not the stamp set or the ink spot. Okay. So originally 11, that is marked down to $5.75. And then here, the Key to My Heart Paper Pumpkin past kits, that's how they phrase it. Let me see if this is scrolling down with me. It is. Okay. Just want to double check. The Key to My Heart Paper Pumpkin past kit. So January of last year. Originally, they were marking this at $20.50. At least that's what they had it here on the website. They have it marked down to $10.75. The past kit is the one that you want if you want the stamp set and the ink spot, or the little Stampin' spot, the ink color that comes with it. This is the full past kit. So 9 cards for the full kit, 9 cards for the refill. But the difference between the past kit and the refill is that the past kit includes the stamp set and the little ink spot that comes with it. Okay. And then heart boxes. This was originally an add-on product. So they would do, something that coordinated with the kit that was cute, but they made it an optional purchase. And that's what we call the add-ons. Those are the heart boxes. They were originally $11. They are marked down to $5.50. These boxes are so cute. They have gold foil on them. And the other color on the heart boxes is petal pink. So this, if I'm remembering this correctly, the palette for this was petal pink, fresh freesia, gold. And then I think there was like a pop of crushed curry in there, and then a pop of like corally pink. The color is escaping me, but you guys can shout it out. I think it was Calypso Coral. Yes. Okay. So hopefully I'm right about that, but you can always click into these and read all of the detail if you want to. So like I was saying, this is on select products. I want to bring special attention to this because I know they're going to be popular now that we're in that mode of making our love theme and our Valentine, cards and treat boxes and all of that. And somebody had told me in one of our groups that you can fit 2 Dove chocolate candies inside this gift box, or something small like a necklace or earrings or anything like that, just depending on if you're planning on doing like a little food gift or something like that. But they are adorable. I do have an alternate video that shows the original cards and then some alternate projects that I made with it from last January. And I'll post that link in the replay. I'll put it up on my blog too a little later on. But as I'm scrolling down here, you can see there are other things that are also on sale. So if it went down there with me, and I think it did, if you're, if you like to buy for Christmas now, you love those discounts and sales after Christmas, then the From the North Pole Paper Pumpkin Pass Kit is marked down. The coordinating North Pole sacks, look at this. They are down to $2. And then the mini shopping bags, which I love. These were so cute. This came out with the little shopping cart kit. It had like a French vibe and theme to it. Those were a nice size. And they're like canvas. Those are on sale for $6.50. So I just thought that was absolutely awesome. And like I said, I'm pretty sure, I can never guarantee it because I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes, but based on past performance, when things like this go on sale, they go. So if any of those things that you want that are on sale, I recommend getting those. Okay, so that's that. Let me go ahead and stop sharing that. And hopefully you guys are seeing me again. And then let me just check comments. Hi, Corinne. Hi, Penny. How are you? So Jeanette says, yes, she does make Valentine cards. I make Valentine cards. I actually love Valentine's Day. Penny is shouting out a hello from Florida. So we got California and Florida in the house so far. I'm shouting out from PA, Pennsylvania. Okay, let me go down to the table at this point because I know that was a lot of information. So we'll leave it there. The sale, I don't know how long it's going to last, but this is a great time to shop in January and February. Just because we have our celebration promotion going on, you can earn free product when you spend, in increments of 50, just depending on how much product you're shopping. You earn rewards as you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Corinne. I really appreciate that. That helps. It's so helpful. I cannot even tell you, especially because I didn't get to let anybody know ahead of time that I was live. So I'm going to go down to the table now and we're going to talk about making these cards. So let me just switch my screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to stand up now and I'm going to move my, I'm just going to move my light super quick. Sorry about the noise. So that we can get a nice light on this. Okay. I'm trying to put this on the other side so I can read your comments while we chat. Okay, because I like to be able to talk to you guys while I'm making these cards. All right, so I don't know if it's going to let me do it. I might have to leave it over here. All right, well, it's okay. I'll try to check in. Hopefully the lighting is okay with that. It looks pretty good here on the table. So this is called the triple time technique, okay? And I really wanted to show you guys what you could do with the stamp set from the kit. So I had done a little poll on my email list asking people, did you miss, having the traditional Valentine theme, or do you love the lavender? And the majority said, love the lavender. Awesome, right? And then a few of you said, I really do miss the traditional colors. So I thought I would do alternates for you guys with both. Now, here is the stamp set from the Paper Pumpkin Kit this month. This is from the lovely Lavender January 2024 Paper Pumpkin Kit. Okay, so we have love, happy Valentine's Day. We have this really cool like leafy sprig, just a little something for you. And then with, which is intended to match back with love. Okay, so that's the stamp set here. So when we look at this card, okay, now the colors of this card, just to shout them out, is Bubble Bath and Real Red with basic white. Okay, so this was me going off and doing my own color palette. But I just wanted to show you that whether or not you choose to do your own color palette or whether you go with the Paper Pumpkin palette, so if you do this in purples, just imagine, you can make this exact card with this stamp set, okay, just depending. So I just used this in 2 different colors and we're going to recreate this again today. And then we did with love And we use the stamp on this one, and then Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so that's the first one. And then let me show you the second one. Now with the second one, I used the width here, but instead of the stamp, I actually used 2 of the dies from our add-on die set. Okay, so the Love of Spring dies, that's the add-on die set that's available right now, and that's going to coordinate with the next 3 months worth of kits, January, February, and March. So here is that one die piece. We're going to use Highland Heather with that. And then here is the Love die. We're going to use Gorgeous Grape with this one. So I'm just going to leave that there. And then this little berry burst piece, I'll get you measurements on the project sheet, okay? I'll try to give you as many as I can on the live, but we're just going to say this little piece, we'll stamp that later, okay? And then I added in some stamps. So even though we're going to be using the width and we're going to be using that leafy sprig, we're going to be bringing in an additional stamp set. So just like to shout this out, when I work with alternates, I will often bring in coordinating products or additional products. So I will be using some stamps from the Painted Lavender Stamp Set tonight as well to make this card, okay? And then I also want to shout out these embellishments. You guys, if you love the January kit, I highly recommend these. These are called Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And you can see they have them in Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, and Berry Burst. It is a perfect match. This actually goes with the suite, the Perennial Lavender suite, but it's a perfect match for the Paper Pumpkin kit for January too, if you want a little bit of extra bling on your cards. So with this one, with this card, what we're going to do is, if you can see, these layers here, the purple ones, are actually from the kit. Okay, so this pattern right here became the layers. So we'll recreate this. This was the original card base. You can also get this on in the inside of the envelope liner as well if you want. And then we're just going to combine our stamps. So we're going to use this stamp. We're going to use our leafy stamp. And just by the way, in case anybody noticed, and let me show you this. I know that they intended it to coordinate, but just in case you didn't see, I'm just going to grab these real quick. These die cuts, even though the scale is different, it's the same leaf. So let me see if I can pull these out for you, just in case you missed the unboxing. And if you missed the unboxing, I did do an unboxing of this kit. I made 2 of the cards, but I did not make the tag because I knew I was going to be doing alternates, although we're not going to be using the tag tonight, but that matches this. So this really does interchange and work in together between the kit components and the coordinating items that you can get from the mini catalog, our January to April 2024 mini catalog. I know that that is a mouthful, but my goodness, I'm so glad I got it out. Okay, now one thing that I do like to show you guys whenever we are working with alternates for a paper pumpkin kit. So here's where you can find this information. Spoiler alert, this is what the original cards look like, but I know by now everybody has seen them. So I didn't personally make these tags, but that doesn't mean that they aren't gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. We did make these 2 original cards in the unboxing. And then on the back, you can see the coordinating colors. So I like to visually see that. I'm sure that a lot of you do too. So let's go through the coordinating colors, and then you can just kind of let your imagination soar with what combinations you would do, or what colors you have available to do the triple time technique for your alternates. So here we have Gorgeous Grape. I tried to stamp 2 so that you could get a good feel for the way that the word looked, and then also the larger sort of piece that we're going to be using all over our triple time card, this leafy sprig. Okay, so we have Gorgeous Grape first. We have Highland Heather. And then we have Berry Burst, and you can see this is sort of our purples family, right? And this is really more berry, like reddish berry, but just wanted to say it does have tones of like pinkish in it too, I think, but really, really bold. And then we have Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, and Garden Green. So you can see we have our greens category here. Okay, so any of these, I believe, would coordinate pretty well between your purples and your greens, just depending on what you have in your collection. And then over here we have Crushed Curry. Now, I just want to say, Crumb Cake is not listed as a coordinating color. Here's why I put it here. I just wanted to have something to represent the brown, the brownish pattern that we have with the polka dots, but it's not an exact match. So I don't want to say, oh, this is crumb cake, because it doesn't look quite the same. And they didn't list a brown as a coordinating color on the sheet, but I just wanted to represent it that we had a neutral in there. So that's why I added that last one. But if you look at this list, this is what's listed on the back of your pamphlet inside your paper pumpkin kit. So I like to do this each month. These are the original coordinating colors. Now, if you do want to sort of venture and do a different color palette, then this is what my alternate color palette was that I wanted to use. And I wanted to stamp, these are all from the paper pumpkin kit from this month, but I wanted to stamp them in different colors. So again, I wanted to represent that sort of a brownish tone, but this is Bubble Bath and this is Real Red. I'm so sorry I didn't write that down. I didn't realize I didn't have it written there, but those are some other colors that we're going to be doing. Okay, so I forgot to write down my measurements when I was making my original card, so I'll just do that with you guys quickly here. But let's actually start with the one that I have ready to go, and then we'll cut the other one together because I think it'll be faster. At least I hope it will be. I'm going to try to be really mindful of time this evening. I promise. I hope. Let's see. As much as I promise and as much as I try, sometimes I still go a little bit long. So we're going to try our best. Okay, so we're going to use a Bubble Bath card base. So again, I'm bringing in some of my own product here, and that is because I wanted to show you guys a Valentine version with this stamp set. So just think of this round of alternates, because there will be more alternates to come, but just think of this round as, you know, the first one. We'll have more coming, but wanted to at least get some Valentine ideas out to you. All right, and so this is our standard size card. This was cut 5.5 by 8.5 and then scored at 4 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to need 2 pieces of basic white in 4 by 5 1/4 inches. That's because one's going to go inside and one layer is going to go on the outside. Okay, and here's where I need my measurements because I won't remember. So this one is, let's see, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 for our next layer. All right, and then this one is 3 by 4 1/4. Our next layer is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. And so that means that this one is 2 by 3 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to have this little baby piece right here to go with this, and that is because it's going to be the one that we stamp our width right on here. Let me just put my bone folder right there so I don't lose it. Okay, so this piece was kind of random. I can't say that I officially measured for it. I just wanted something small. So it ends up measuring just under, well, just about an inch, just under, and it's 3/8 of an inch about. Okay, so I would say 3/8 of an inch by 1 inch. You could make it a little bit smaller if you want to. But I just grabbed a scrap piece and just cut a small piece off of it. So that's how that happened, but that's okay. All right, so let's put this where you can see it as we do this. So we're going to do the triple time element of this card first. And that means I'm going to pull my basic white pieces. This is a really great technique to do with any of your paper pumpkin stamp sets. I highly recommend this technique with this. I think this is one of the easier ones to do when you're making alternates with a paper pumpkin kit. Okay, and then we're going to use our little adhesive dots from the kit. I love these for the triple time technique because they're not super sticky. Like, we're only going to use one. But basically, I'm going to put it on my finger. I'm just going to peel the backing off. And I'm just going to touch it a couple of times. And all I'm doing is kind of getting some of the stickiness off of this. And then I'm going to put it right in the center of this first, the largest layer, let's say. And the one thing that I didn't want to do was I wanted to keep it flat. So let me try that one more time. Of course, when we're off camera, it goes exactly the way that we want. But let me just do that one more time. And don't worry if it's not perfect, because you're going to cover the area ultimately with the next layer. But of course, I have no problem with this when I'm not doing this. Hold on. Let me try this a different way. All right, one more time, one more time. All right, so I'm just going to touch it on the one side of my hand. I'm going to put it on the layer. Let's do it this way, because when I'm rushing in the live, it will not cooperate. Okay, and now I'm just going to touch it a couple of times on the top. And something is under my nails. I don't know what is going on here. All right, and then once you can, it's not too sticky. I'm just going to place this next layer down. You just want to try to get them as even as possible, because we're actually going to stamp on all 3 layers like this. And so let me take this one off, and I'm just going to do the one side with my fingertip. Okay, now I'll put that in the center. We're just going to do one because we want to be able to remove these later. That's the whole idea about removing some of the stickiness from our layers. Okay, and then we're going to put this one down. Just eyeball it, just get it as even as you can. Okay, so once you have those in place, we're going to do some stamping. So I am going to start with my leafy sprig from the catalog. So we'll also need our width, and we'll need our love. So we'll put these 2 here, and then I'm going to get my alternate colors, but of course you could do these in your purples or your coordinating colors from the kit as well. So I'm going to use Bubble Bath and Real Red. I'm going to start with Bubble Bath. Okay. This was the color that we really, really needed, I felt like, in our collection. I'm so thrilled that we have this color now. Now, just to give you guys an idea for the pattern, I'm going to come in on all 4 corners with the pink first, and then we're going to do some fill with the red. Okay, so that's the idea. With the triple time technique, basically what you want to do, if you haven't already tried this, this is a tried and true, very popular technique. This has been around for a long time. So you may be very familiar with this, or maybe you've never tried it. If you've never tried it, let me know. I would love to hear from you. But we're going to try this. So all I'm going to do is ink this up, and we're going to aim for those 4 quarters. And you know what I forgot? Let me see. I forgot my scrap paper. Okay. Just going to grab a piece of paper here. I have to get better. I have to get better with the scrap paper, you guys. All right, I'm going to try to leave this where I can see it. All right, and then I'm going to just try to straighten these out, because we don't have a ton of adhesive on these, because we want to be able to take them apart. All right, so back to this. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get it across all 3 layers. You don't have to try to get it over more than 1 layer. That's part of the fun of this technique, is seeing how they line up in the end. And just because you're going over 3 layers of cardstock, just give it a good push. So just adhere that, or not adhere that, but stamp that ink down. We're just going to do that on all 4 sides. If you don't get the impression perfect, particularly close to the layer lines, it's okay. And you'll see why when we add in our cardstock layers. Okay. So this first card, even though we're not using the Paper Pumpkin colors, we are using all Paper Pumpkin stamps. But I am using my own cardstock. Okay. Bringing in the basic white. And this is so that we can do that classic pink and red Valentine, which I adore. I adore pink and red Valentines. I'm a traditional girl, but I'm also a floral girl. So the lavender kit really spoke to me. I was like, I cannot wait to make tons of alternates with this, but I wanted to at least get started with these. Okay. So we have those 4 corners. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in our Real Red. Okay. And then I'm just going to clean this super quick. Here it is. I keep telling myself in my mind, keep that close by, keep it close by. Okay. And so with Real Red, what we're going to do, okay, you can see like 1, 1, and then 2 on the top and the bottom. You can go straight down, you can go angled, however you want to do it. Just have fun with this technique. Okay, so we'll do sides first. Now I'm going in a little bit too far for my little love sign here. So let me just show you guys. Okay, so I wanted to kind of have some space for my love. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab that stamp real quick and I'm going to see, can I still fit it here? And I can. I'm just going to do it at an angle. So I'm just going to be mindful as I'm stamping around. Now it's no problem if you make this mistake. You could just add a layer over top and just do the die cut love, okay? Or you could choose a different one. But what we're going to do is we're just going to slightly angle that because it happens sometimes when you're stamping. I lose my train of thought all the time. Okay. I'm going to be more mindful stamping this one in. Okay. Hopefully we're still getting across all those layers. And you could stamp love first, and that would help you too. Okay, and then here, I'm just going to do from the side. And again, I'm just giving it an extra push because we've got more than one layer of cardstock to get the ink onto. Okay. And then we'll do two coming down from the top. But I think what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp my greeting so that I don't go too far. I'll take my own advice. How about that? Okay. All right. There we go. All right, and then let's go ahead and I'm just going to re-ink this because I just feel like I have to when I pick them up. And then let's bring this one down a little. That's my dining room table. It's been around for quite a while, so it creaks a little. And we'll bring in this one here. Okay, and so you can either stop here. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that well in the light. You can stop right here, or you can go into these spots and fill if you want. You can overlap, whatever you feel comfortable doing. I feel like the cleaner the stamping, the cooler the technique when you layer your cardstock in. But this, you can see I went in and did stamp like just a little bit, just a tiny little bit here and here. Just if I felt like it was missing something and it needed a little bit. So let me grab my Simply Chamois, my little cleaner. This is such a go-to to clean your stamps with quickly if you are using more than one color like we are here. And let me just stamp off one time because this bubble bath is new and I don't want red on it. Okay, so just going to do a little bit right down at the end there. I'm not going to go crazy. And this part, well, you know what? I better move it. Okay. So this is to my eye. I like to fill as much as I can, but don't feel like you have to do that. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit. And then on this one, and you can see my layers are starting to turn, but that's okay because the stamping is done. I'm just going to get a little bit right there. A teeny tiny bit right there. And I feel like we have good coverage at that point. It looks really good to me. Let me do just a little one right here. Yeah, I think we got it. Okay, so let me close these. You know what? Actually, I'm going to leave red open because we're going to stamp with. Let's do that first. So we're going to get our little piece of our bubble bath. And we're going to do with. Okay, perfect. And then, oh, I forgot to show you guys the inside of the card. So on the inside of the card, we're going to do just a little something for you. So that inside layer is right here. And let's go ahead and stamp that too. And you could actually do more of this pattern on the inside as well if you would want to. So we'll do just a little something for you. Okay. And then I'll just put that back as we build our layers. So we'll put our scrap paper over there. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our pieces. So let's go ahead and we'll actually start from the inside out. How about that? I'm going to grab my Seal Plus because I happen to have it out here, but it's right at the end. So I have a brand new glue that I opened. Haven't even used it yet for this live. Okay. New year, new glue. And I have a Stampin' Seal Plus refill sitting right here too, in case I need to change that one out. Okay, so that's our inside piece, and then I'm just gonna burnish this edge. Okay, and then let's go ahead. I feel like that's really popping up even though we did that. All right, and so here we're gonna add in our layers. So this is where we're gonna start taking this apart. I recommend twisting. So don't yank it. You don't want to rip your paper. We're just going to twist it. Isn't that cool? Even if you just wanted to do like a frame technique and stop there, you could just put another layer on top, make whatever frame you wanted, and then put your, sentiment in the middle. You would just have to be mindful of the adhesive, right? But we're going to put this one on first. And I'll check comments in just a minute. With my light where it is, it's harder to see. I'll have to figure that out. I really think I need a new, different light. Okay, we'll put this one down. Okay, and then we're going to do our next layer. So we're going to go to our bubble bath pink layer next. We're going to lay that one down. And this is where, if you made any of those mistakes or you didn't get a perfect impression, it's okay, because you're going to notice that this cardstock layer covers a little bit of the edge of that frame. Okay, and then we'll bring in our next layer. So again, we're just going to twist it to release. Okay, and I could actually take that off if I want to. See, you can remove that. So that's one of the great ways to use the little adhesive dots, even though I was probably not showing you the best way to take the adhesive off. I usually use my clothes, like if I'm doing the masking paper or something, but those are so little. All right, so now we're bringing in our next stamp layer. And you can see the magic happening here. So as you start to build this, even though we have this layer in between, it looks like a continuous stamp. It's just the simplest, coolest thing. Sometimes the older techniques or the simpler techniques are like the most fun. Okay, here we go. I've done this before. I have other videos with triple time stamping. And my team member, Teresa, she has a YouTube channel now. So Crafty Nana, SEW, if you want to check her out. She just did the triple time stamping technique, and that's why it was on my mind. And I thought this would be perfect with the Paper Pumpkin stamp set. So I was excited to try this one. Okay, so we're just adding our layers, finishing up here. All right. And then we're going to finish it with this. And for this one, I am not going to do any dimensionals, but we're going to do a couple of dimensionals with the next card. So let me just get a little adhesive on that. I just want to make sure. Your glue would probably be better for this one, but I already have my Seal Plus here. Okay, so we're going to do our width just nested right above the love stamp. Now on the original, I had actually stamped Happy Valentine's Day underneath, but because I stamped so far in with this one, it just says with love. And then we could actually stamp our Happy Valentine's Day on the inside, or we could stamp it on the envelope, just whatever you would want to do. But here is our first card. Okay, so that's using all of the January 2024 Paper Pumpkin stamps only. We just changed our colors. Okay, and so for our next card, and that's this one here, we're bringing in some of those, the add-on dies. So 2 of the add-on dies. We're going to bring in some more stamps, and we're going to do multicolor with this one as well. But this time we're using kit colors and layers. All right. So let me grab, do I have my, yes, I do. Okay. You guys can hear me talking out loud to myself. All right. So we have our 3 layers that we're going to do. Okay. And I will probably need this to cut some layers here. Okay, I have to figure out how not to lean against this table, which seems to be a bad habit of mine. Okay, So here what we're going to do, and let me just check the comments really quick, you guys. Let me move this light and just check comments for 1 second. Hi, Patty. And she says, I like doing this technique. Pretty. Oh, thank you, Corinne. I'm so glad. All right. And let me jump back in here. We'll bring our light back. All right. And so for our next one, we are going to do, you can do this 2 ways. And I'll show you. We're going to need, I think, 3 of these. So if you don't mind cutting your cards apart from the kit, which I don't, I have plenty of cardstock that I can use for additional cards. It's totally up to you. I already cut one in half, but I'm actually going to cut a couple more layers. Okay, so we're going to trim these down. And let's see. First thing I want to do is just get this other piece off, and I'll be able to use that for another alternate another day. All right, and then the next thing I want to do is get this. Actually, I need this to be full size. So we want this to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. And then that'll just go right over top of our card base. Although I don't know if I have my extra card base sitting here. I could use it. I could use the card, but on the back, it would be sideways, I think. No, it would be the regular. Why don't we do that? What was I thinking? I just used the basic white card on here, but we could just use the card base. So this should be fine. Scratch the first thing I said. If you want to cut it into layers, you can. We're still going to use, that'll be our base. And then if I change my mind, I can always cut the back off later and turn it into, glue it on the top of another card. But this is the way that my brain thinks whenever we are making things. Okay, so we need a piece that is cut to 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. All right, we'll save these pieces for later. And then we also need, I think, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, right? So yeah, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. All right, so that's our other piece. So 4 1/2. And then we'll do 3 1/4. And then we'll save these 2 pieces for layers for another time. All right, so between these 3 pieces, we have our layering pieces now. And then we can do our triple time technique with our 3 pieces of basic white, same size as the previous card. Okay, and we're going to do that same exact thing again. Just going to pop this on. Okay. I'm really proud of myself that I only got a teeny tiny bit of real red on me. All right, and then same thing. We'll just take some of the stick off of that. We're going to lay that down. Okay, and we're going to do this one. I know that you guys get the idea with, even just the one card, but I thought I would show you adding in the other stamps and then working with the dies. Okay, so totally up to you, but I like to have options. Okay, and then let's get our scrap paper back. And I'm just going to try to keep these rectangles straight. It's not perfect, but that's okay. All right, and so this is one of the main ones that we're going to be using. This is from the Painted Lavender Stamp Set. Okay, and so the main color that I chose for this card basically was Highland Heather. But you can choose whichever one you want. If you would want to do Gorgeous Grape as your main color, you could do that. I chose to do less of Gorgeous Grape and then just a little bit, just a hint of Garden Green and Berry Burst. All right, so those are the colors we're going to be working with here. Let me grab my Highland Heather stamp set somewhere. I started covering everything on my table. There it is. Okay. There we go. You guys should see on right to this side, I have, I have stuff everywhere. Okay, so we'll start with our Highland Heather. We're going to do the same exact pattern where we're going to go into our 4 corners and just build our colors and our images. Okay, so you could do this whatever way works for you. I'm going to just go and stick with those 4 corners. I find it easy to do that. Now, one thing that I will shout out, I discovered while I was doing this technique that I needed to re-ink some of my ink pads. So it's January. It's that time of year. If you haven't re-inked your, see, I didn't get a perfect image there, but that's okay. We'll fix it later. If you haven't inked your ink pads in a while, particularly if your subtles haven't gotten any love or attention in the last couple of months, might be time to re-ink those. Okay, and then I'm just going to press. This is a larger stamp, so I'm going to try to take my time pressing. Okay. And then I'll do one up here. Okay, the good thing about the photopolymer stamps is that you can really see that ink transferring, but sometimes I just lift it too fast. All right. Now you can see there was a little gap here. That's totally fine. Our layers are going to cover that. I was just saying on my Instagram stories today, if you don't follow me over there, I'm stamping with Hart, H-A-R-T, everywhere. But I was doing on my stories today how messy my table was, even as I was just making alternates. I just lay everything out all over the place. Okay, so for our next color, we're actually going to do garden green. Okay, so I was asking, I did a little poll on Instagram stories just asking people if you're a messy crafter or if you're a very neat and tidy crafter. I am definitely messy. All right, and we're also going to be using this leaf stamp. This leaf stamp is from the Painted Lavender Stamp Set, but there are die cut versions of these leaves, slightly larger in the kit. You could probably do this technique with die cuts, but I haven't tried it myself. I think that there would be some technical work to do there. All right, so here I'm going to bring in this original card just so that you can see. And I just kind of came in like from the side. There's no real rhyme or reason. You could do this whatever way you want. Doesn't matter how far you go into this layer because we're going to do die cuts as our greeting this time, or our sentiment. So I just wanted pops in all 4 corners. So I'm just going to go for that again. So in this spot here where I missed a little bit of my lavender, I'm just going to layer. Okay. And then I'm just going to turn this around. And this way I'll come down on this side. Okay. And then we'll do just a pop over here too. All right, so there are our greens. If you don't want to overlap your inks or your stamps, I totally understand. It doesn't really bother me. I have been known to do that. Or you could even do masking, but I've never tried to do masking over a triple time layer. So I would have to play with that. Okay, and so we're going to bring in Gorgeous Grape. And there it is. Okay, so we'll bring in Gorgeous Grape. Okay, my goal is to try to get at least 2 of the layers, but it doesn't have to be everywhere. It could just be sort of. And this is the stamp from the Paper Pumpkin Kit this month. All right, so with this one, I'm going to do less. Hopefully you guys, let me move this up a little so you can see this. Okay, as I go around in a circle here. All right, and here I have more room, which is nice. So I'm going to bring this in here. Okay, and then on this one, we'll do a little bit. We won't go too far. I took everything and did inward instead of outward, but totally up to you how you want to do that. Okay, just a little pop there. And then I'm going to do just a little bit of filler right here. Now, this next part is totally optional, but I'm going to take Berry Burst and I am going to add some butterflies. Okay. And let me grab that ink. I was thinking about Lost Lagoon would be really pretty for the butterflies too. Let me see what I did with Berry Burst. Here it is. Okay. I just love this color. I think this color is so beautiful. And move that over here. Okay, so this stamp, this butterfly stamp is also from Painted Lavender. And even though it's 2 butterflies, it's actually a single stamp. I know some people cut up their stamps, but I'm going to leave it as one. And this wasn't on purpose, but I actually really liked the way that it looked. I really kind of only had the butterflies kind of around center as if it was like a group of them. We have, I think is it Phipps Conservatory where they have all the butterflies here in Pittsburgh. I would be terrified to go into that exhibit, but I've seen it. All right, I'm going to try to straighten out my layers just in case we do go outside of this. But my goal is just to get some pops of color here. So let's see, we could do here, here. Go right there. Do a couple more right here-ish. Okay. Some of these are going to get covered, so it's okay. And then we're also going to do Gorgeous Grape when we stamp our width. So let me do that too before I forget. And here's our teeny tiny, can you believe I actually kept these both in sight? I'm so proud. Okay, and I did well with that, but what did I do with Gorgeous Grape? I moved it again. Okay, you could do Pretty Peacock there, you know, just a darker color because we're doing this on a piece of pretty decent color cardstock, bright color cardstock here. Okay, just looking for my width. Stamp. The little ones are always hardest to spot, right? Okay. There we go. And we could leave Gorgeous Grape out to stamp the inside too, if we want to. So let's do that. And we'll say the same exact, well, you know what, why don't we say Happy Valentine's Day on this one, on the inside of this one, why not? I don't think I have any ink on that, nope. All right, and we'll do this in Gorgeous Grape. All right, so Happy Valentine's Day. And then let's go ahead and build our layers on this one. Okay. Just going to take my bone folder and get the good crease on that. Okay. And now we're going to twist these apart just one more time. Okay, if you want to add in any of the twine, which I think would be beautiful with this card, you could absolutely do that during any one of these layers, adding any of the layers. Okay. And one thing that I didn't get to say about my Valentine card, we'll do it in the end. For those of you who like flat cards, this is a very good candidate for that. Even though there's layers on it, it still lays flat. Oh, I'm at the end of this one. Okay, well. Should I switch out my, I do have the refill sitting right here. Hang on, guys. Okay. Intermission. All right, let me just slide this out. So this is what the refills look like when you get those, and we just tear off the top there. So I'm just gonna set this down for a second. And then let me open up this this case here, so you see where that like frosted area is. We're just going to open that up. Okay, so you see how when you open that, the Stampin' Seal Plus is on the bottom. We're just going to lift this out Okay, I got a little extra adhesive on there. This one is empty. And then we're just going to take this and literally set it right inside. And then we have these two little plastic pieces that we'll line it up with. Okay, so it should set right in. And then we just put our little case back together and we should be all set. Okay, so let me see. Yep, we are all good. Okay, sorry guys, I just got a phone call. Hopefully that didn't interrupt too much. Sorry about that. All right, we need our purple layer in between though, don't we? All right, let me get my purple. And let's do this layer. Hopefully you guys can, I don't know why I feel like I'm so far away. You know what? I saw Connor playing with my, that's my son. I saw him playing with my phone holder earlier. I bet you he moved it because I was like, why does this feel so far away from the edge of the table? Okay. Not intentionally, just playing. He loves getting into the craft things, particularly tools. He loves the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so there we have these pieces and you can see that these are lining up. So as you're reassembling everything, just make sure that the stamps are lining up. And then let's do our next purple layer here. Okay, there we go. I'll put this last one on. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? I just absolutely love this technique and the way that all of the different stamps combined between the paper pumpkin kit and then also the painted lavender. The designers did an absolutely fantastic job with everything, layering and coordinating. I just think it is awesome. I haven't even touched the designer series paper yet. Okay. And so for the next part of this, I'm going to bring in my little mini, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss mini machine. And we're just going to do very, very light die cutting. So nothing too complicated here. I'm just going to put this right here so I don't lose it. And let me go ahead and get rid of the inks. We don't need those right now, right? Okay, so again, this is from the Love of Spring Dies. This is Highland Heather cardstock. And then we're just going to run this one through. Okay, so we'll do that one first. I want the full image there. The full cut, as they say. And then I'm just going to run that through. So we'll do that one. This one's super easy. Okay. There we go. Super nice. Love the cut on that. We're going to be able to use this die all year long with our kits. All right. Now for this one, I wanted to offer you a suggestion. Okay. Because this is a thin die cut and because I'm going to be layering it onto something else, I thought I would finally, in 2024, I have remembered, let's do the adhesive sheets. And we're going to turn this into a sticker, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the lower part of this. So I'm going to try to cut this along the bottom so that I know where to put my adhesive sheet. You can cover the whole thing if you want to. I just want to make sure I have, you know, good enough adhesive on there. So I'm just going to take my scissors. Now, just so that you guys can see, if you've never worked with these before, there, see the sticky on that? Okay, so these essentially turn into a sticker. So what we're going to do is I'm going to trim off this piece. Okay, and then let me just see it. It's not a perfect match. You guys, if you're more organized than me, you can do this ahead of the live. So I'm just going to trim this off too. Okay. And basically what we want to do is we want to remove one side. So I'm going to peel up the edge on this. I'm trying to do this on camera. I'm literally holding my breath while I'm doing this. Okay. And so we're going to pull up the one side of the sheet. The sticky is still here. Okay. I know it's really hard to see, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here on the cardstock. Okay. And now I'm going to put my die here. So along the bottom there, ish. And we'll run this one through. All right. I want to use these every time I'm die cutting. I'm not even kidding. And I always forget to do it. So I am so glad that I got a chance to show you. I'm going to run this through one extra time just because we're turning it into a sticker. Okay. All right. And then when we pop this out, we have turned this into a sticker. And I'll show you in just a minute. Let me just move this stuff out of the way. Ooh. It's not heavy, you guys, I swear. It's teeny tiny. I just am being dramatic. Okay. So here, let me just show you. I'm going to pop this out. All right, I'm just using my scissors. We have a little, if you have the take your pick tool, you can use the little pokey side. That's the non-technical term for that. Okay, so I'm just going to peel this off here. Okay, see the way that that comes off of the back like a sticker? Isn't that cool? Okay, so I think I hear the boys. They might come in, so it might get loud in here for a minute. Hopefully I'll be able to finish the live, but we'll see. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this right onto our card. So let me go ahead and do that. And I just need, see, now I'm getting a little flustered. I had everything sitting here, but moving things. Let's see. I do not see my Stampin' dimensionals. So in that case, you know what we're going to do? We'll just do this flat. But in this version, I did this popped up. Let me see if I have them under here. Yes, I do. Okay, I found them. All right, so let me just see if I can finish this up. Here we go. 1, 2. And we'll pop this on. We will pop this piece on. Okay. And yeah, I think they're coming in, you guys. So to finish up, I would do 1, 2, 3 gems. Okay. And I did Berry Burst because I liked the contrast of the color, but you could do whatever color that you want. So I did everything on the inner layer. So on this one, I figured I'll do them on a couple of the layers. Okay, and then I'll pop that right up onto the top. And then there is our second card. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. Well, all right. Oops, sorry. I wasn't holding that in the screen. Okay, so let me just bring in the other card real quick and we'll wrap it up. So here they are. We have this one and this one. We'll just set those down. Okay. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up so that the boys can come into the house. They're literally waiting for me to end the live and it's cold, but I want everybody to have a lovely night and I will get this replay posted just as soon as I can. All right. Bye-bye.